Hi guys, I'm back again today with another video, and today we're checking out boating the highest canal. What is this? Aqueduct in the world. I do not know these terminologies, but um somebody reminded me that the narrow boats are mainly on canals and rivers, not necessarily the sea. So it doesn't get stormy. But yeah, you live in the different parts of the world, so maybe you guys don't get storms. Maybe you get rains, but you don't get storms. But we get a lot of stormy weather, like typhoons we call them. Uh, and that was my fear. But I guess you guys don't necessarily get that over there, like typhoons, so you are chill. Even if you are in a canal, like if typhoon hits, like it's gonna be crazy. But that's fair. Um, so let's see what this is. I'm not sure what we're getting into. I mean, I cannot even read this word, so we'll see. Can I
So
search it?
here,
Let me just search it and how to pronounce it as well, so that we educate ourselves and we don't live uh how do you call this, crazily. Okay. An artificial channel for conveying water, typically in the form of a bridge across a valley or other gaps. Let me see how it's pronounced. What? Aqueduct. Aqueduct. Okay, let's go.
Jesus. How are things out here?
We're beached.
All right. The UK has a network of over 2,000 miles of canals, and we've come to Wales to drive a boat across the highest and longest canal aqueduct in the UK. And there's no railing on this side. But we didn't know this is also the narrowest canal on the network. This is a snug canal. I'm Mike, and I'm traveling with my partner Nicole on 4 boats on 4 canals in the UK to experience the joys and challenges of narrowboating. And this week, we're joined by Nicole's university friend Rachel to enjoy the llangollen Canal for episode 3 of Downie Live Travels by Boat. And it starts here in the small town of Trevor. So we just picked up our boat from Anglo-Welsh Narrowboat Holiday Company. We booked using drifters. Let me introduce you to Fitzroy. So let's take a look on board. As usual, we board at the back.
Didn't know you could even do this. Didn't know you could do this and then travel around. Yeah, there's a lot of things in the world that surprises me each and every time. I think I've seen most of the things to see, and I come upon these videos and I'm like, damn. Clueless still. Clueless.
Introduce you to Fitzroy. So let's take a look on board. As usual, we board at the back of this almost 60-foot long boat and enter bedroom number 1. Behind it is the first bathroom. That's right, there are 2 of these bathrooms, each with a shower. Then further down the hall is the second bedroom, and behind that is the second bathroom. You get it. Finally, we come into the modern and functional kitchen. Great stove, cooktop, little prep area and pantry here. Then we have the living room with 4 comfortable chairs and a wood-burning fireplace in the corner. Personally, I really like the details on the curtains. I love it. And of course, our front deck. So, let's start it up, get on our way.
You are now clear. Well, not on this side.
Bye, guys. So, let's get Fitzroy moving. I love this. The biggest boat we've been on yet. Come out being watched by everybody. Gongoozlers. This is our biggest boat rental yet, and as I mentioned in the intro, this is the narrowest canal, which should make things interesting. I mean, we're barely out of the marina and already making a 3-point turn. Tight corner, right as we come out. Alrighty, look at that. This is a big boat. As you can see, the canal is barely wide enough for our boat, let alone if we have to go past anyone. Oh no! Oh my gosh!
There's a boat coming. There's a boat coming.
Stick to the right. I can't go back. I can't go back. We're gonna pull over and let them. Oh.
I think I've seen the sidemen here actually. In this, it could be this canal. It just looks the same. I don't know, but they did a video.
Oh dear. For some
It
reason,
looks similar.
you drive on the left, but when you're boating, you stay to the right.
There's some reasons because in the rest of the world, like the entire ocean and river, like everywhere else, it's right. So this is a waterway, so they treat it like the way they do all waterways. You pass on the right.
So, sticking to global mariner laws, we're staying as far right as we can. If this is a sign of things to come, this trip could take a long time. So we were told this is the narrowest and busiest canal in the network. I didn't really believe them. We've gone about 30 meters and hi there. This is snug. That was exactly the width of 2 boats. Last week the canal was straight and wide, whereas this week is said to be one of the most challenging canals yet. You got it, Nicole? That's a power stance. You can see how the canal continues to meander along the edge of these mountains, which means the driver, or skipper, is constantly having to pay attention. And if they don't, this happens. Grounding.
Grounding a little bit.
It's a narrow and shallow canal. We've come aground. Rachel is starting to understand that narrowboating might not be what she imagined.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm beached.
Beached. Road in reverse?
They have so many terms.
It is like
What does
how
it mean?
would you pass? In like here, it would be my question.
Oh, look! It's so shallow there.
So
Strong wind out here. And with a bigger boat, means it moves a lot more. While Nicole drives, I'm doing research on this section to see if there's any history or landmarks we should know about. I find it funny because Nicole is the one with an actual geography degree, but I tend to be more interested in maps than her. We have warnings coming up.
I'll tell you
Super
when to
narrow
start.
parts
Don't
and
drink.
blind corners, so they recommend sending someone ahead.
I mean that is
That's
like
pretty perfect, baby. Hold it. Now, while the canal already doesn't feel very wide, it gets down to the width of just one boat every time there's a bridge. This is a snug canal. Perfect. Didn't touch the walls. So this is the Llangollen Canal. At least that's how I read it. But I learned the Welsh pronounce the double L's as cla, so it's actually pronounced the llangollen Canal. All right, this part seems simple enough. Let's let Rachel drive for her first time while I tell you about the canal. The llangollen here is called one of the UK's most stunning stretches of canal, and I can see why. We're cruising on a boat, winding in and out of forest, along the hillside, passing sheep, and valley views for what is supposed to be a 2-hour trip to our destination this afternoon. However, something tells me it's going to take us slightly longer than that. But that's okay. Nicole has made snacks. And if we didn't think it could get
That
any
looks
narrower,
so good.
it's about to. We have a foot there, and we have 6 inches here. I mean, I could step off she goes, and that's all we get. If there's another boat coming this way, I don't know what you do. So they really weren't kidding when they said this is the narrowest.
Nah, I want to know, what do you do if there's another boat? Like, whoever maybe is nearest to a wider space goes back? Is that how you do it?
Canal, though, are they?
why did you think you were kidding?
Well, I just didn't think it could get much narrower than the Monmouthshire and Breck, which we did. This portion of the canal narrows so much that it becomes impossible for 2 boats to pass. And because it continuously curves, you can't actually see if there's anyone coming or not. And after we've made it through that section, this blue sign tells us that it gets even narrower again. Channel narrows to 1 boat width for 500 meters. We advise you to send someone to walk ahead to warn of oncoming boats. No passing places. So we've sent Nicole ahead to check.
I feel like that's far, 500 meters.
It is.
It is,
This portion of the
actually.
video is sponsored by Caseco. I recently upgraded to the new iPhone 14 Pro Max. And when you spend so much money on a phone, you want to make sure it's taken care of. That's where the magic box comes in handy. Okay, let's take a look. And 0.5 millimeter, but the reason that, buy yourself a tripod. Whether you're looking
Actually,
at
it
recipes,
looks
while
cool.
cooking
I
something in
want-
the kitchen, I have to link in the description down below. Portion of the
And fishing, but it's up where
canals.
there's one. There is one. 5 men fishing, but it's up where it widens. and they went by and they offered her gin and tonic, and she took it, and she sat there and had a gin and tonic with them.
Well, we should go join those guys.
Nice.
Thanks for the tip.
She knows how to live, eh?
She says it's clear, so let's cross our fingers and get going. I'm up against the wall and I can't get off it. There's no room on this side. They said, oh, you've got to go to llangollen. It's so pretty. And it is.
But
They didn't say it would be this difficult. Driving a 60-foot long narrowboat with mere inches on each side is difficult enough. But add in the fact that you have to take corners as well, makes it darn near impossible to do without hitting the side. I mean, this is so narrow. I basically don't have to steer. Just put the throttle on and we'll just bounce off the walls uphill. Sorry. Look, now we have an S-curve. I mean, I don't know how anyone can do this without bumping anything. Like, I feel like I'm driving a school bus down a bowling alley.
That would arguably be easier.
That would be...
can they at least make the sides like, I don't know, what would be good for the sides? Like a material that bounces off the wall if you hit it. Like a bump car situation. But I don't know anything. I should shut up.
Easier. Is this a mini castle? As we're now seeing more homes, or mini castles, we're clearly approaching the small town of llangollen, which holds more canal history than I expected. In fact, this concession stand is made from the old stables for the horses that used to pull canal boats.
What's the plan? What do you need?
We're gonna reverse it in. We've finally made it to the marina at the end of the canal, and I'm going to attempt to park this 60-foot beast.
No!
I mean, that's pretty good. So we opted to stay in the marina tonight because all the moorings seem pretty busy. We want to stay here in llangollen, which means we have to pay £6 to the marina for us to stay here. But seems fair. Our marina is at the edge of town, and so it's time for our evening walk to see where we've ended up. We've come all this way because this picturesque town is very significant to the canal. Wow, this town is beautiful. And yes, this river below us has a lot to do with it. But before I fill you in on that, let's get some groceries and make dinner on board.
All right.
How is the kitchen in terms of functionality?
I'd say it's functional.
Yeah.
The thing that this boat has that the other two boats we've been on don't have is a fireplace. So we got some firewood. But first things first, we have to put up the chimney. You see, it's gonna come out here. All right, let's put my camp skills to the test. Now we can light it. Fire extinguisher right here. Okay, let's see if the wood catches. I don't want to jinx it, but I think we're in business. It's burning wood. This is exactly why I love narrowboating. Just a cozy evening on the water in Wales. Smells like fresh wood. But in here it smells like roasting vegetables. Mediterranean dinner? We've had enough of the pubs. Couldn't eat any more deep fried food. Dinner on the water by the fire. We're pretty good.
Tastes better.
The rest of tonight is spent relaxing and catching up with Rachel by the fire, so we'll see you in the morning. This morning, we're gonna go for a little walk, see where all this water comes from. There's something integral to the canal up here, which is what we've come to see. That's where we're going. So this marina is the end of the line. The canal does continue, but there's no spot to turn the boats around. So there's a sign there that says no boat traffic beyond this. But we're gonna see what's up there, because like I said, it's the source of the canal. I hope you can see this weed that's floating in the current this way. This is the only canal with a current. Most canals are completely level and do not have a current. However, the llangollen Canal, as you can see, does have a current. The flow is coming from Horseshoe Falls. And to get there is a beautiful walk along the canal. This sign feels a little out of date. Boats now have motors and aren't pulled by horses anymore, right? Well, in fact, here in llangollen, they do still use the old canal-side stables to keep the horses in, because
they do horse-drawn tours up to the Horseshoe Falls, just like the horses would have pulled the barges back in the canals
in the 1800s. The boats do not have motors, they're just pulled by horses. In fact, a horse can pull 20 times more weight by canal boat than it could by wagon. Because the
I want
water
to try
floats
this.
the weight,
Like
and
a
once
scenic
you get it moving,
tour.
you just have to kind of continue the momentum. The other benefit of pulling freight by boat is there aren't any hills on the water. Horse-drawn canal boats became the fastest and most efficient way to transport goods, until the steam train was invented and made the canals slow and eventually obsolete. But here in Llangollen, you can still experience a horse-drawn boat ride up the canal. Now, back to finding the source of the canal. I think we're getting close. And here it is, the source of the canal. The River Dee here has a small weir built which helps to divert water into the pump house. Any excess water overflows back into the River Dee, and the pump house manages the amount of water entering the canal, which is why it flows with a slight current. It used to be done manually with wooden planks. Now it's all digital, but what a beautiful spot. Everything is so green in Wales. Okay, let's go see that aqueduct. You gonna come get me too? Thank you. Onwards to the aqueduct. Rachel is feeling up to the challenge of taking on the narrow stretch on our way back down. Back past the sheep again. Even Nicole and I were narrowboat beginners just 2 weeks ago. And as difficult as this canal is, Rachel is loving it. Then be prepared to go full gas. Hard that way.
Hard.
Hard. All the way. All the way. Now get ready to reverse. You're gonna hit it. Reverse. Perfect.
I mean, I feel like that was as good as it could have gone.
That was great. In less than 24 hours,
I'm
she's gone from
stressed.
never driving a narrowboat to being the skipper as we start to cross the highest canal aqueduct in the world. Okay, if you're afraid of heights...
I don't know why I'm getting One Piece energy. It's not the same, but I'm just getting One Piece energy. I mean, it was the two of them, and then the friend came in, and we're like going along this canal that looks like we're going to One Piece. Like, get what I mean?
Just skip ahead. Don't watch this part, because we will be 125 feet up in the air. And there's no railing on this side.
Nah, I can't do like those. Like, nah, just put a snake in it and I'm done. Just that the only thing that is missing from this phobia of mine is the snake. Just put snakes like swimming in the canal, and then we're up high, and then we're in water. Yeah, Rookie will be passed out. Like my soul would have left my body as soon as we enter this canal. What are we doing with our lives? I'm gonna walk. Thank you. You might be like, where are you walking?
This is the Pontcysyllte Aqueduct, a UNESCO World Heritage Site,
Oh,
and the longest
there's a side that you can walk actually. Yeah, I'll be there. I'm gonna walk. I'm not gonna be on that.
canal aqueduct in the UK. The word Pontcysyllte is Welsh for the bridge that connects, but is often called the river in the sky. We are floating in a boat in water that is being held in by a 5-foot deep cast iron trough suspended 126 feet above the river and held up across 19 arches. Construction was started in 1795 and took 10 years until completion in 1805 and is the highest canal aqueduct in the world. And look at that smile on Rachel's face.
Doing really well.
All of our faces. How cool is this? I can't believe you're able to drive a boat across this.
It's really
unassisted.
cool.
This is an experience you can't get anywhere else, and I'm so glad it's still here for us to not just look at, but use. So just like anywhere else on the canal, it has the towpath for the horses to pull the barges along, but myth has it that kids used to take this bridge to get to school, and if they were crossing at the same time as a horse, they'd have to jump over the railing and hang there and wait for the horse to go past.
I'm not going to school, okay? Call me uneducated. Um, yeah. If I was here, I'm gonna be on that side because it has more support. I mean, like if though I was, If I was with them, I'm gonna walk first and foremost because I don't want to see the other side without the railings. And the reason why I want to walk is I want to walk really, really fast so I can get to where the bridge ends because I cannot, I can't. Mm-mm.
Was that scary?
I think it's thrilling.
That was great.
Yeah, it was really great.
But now that we've crossed the aqueduct, our experience is not over. Coming around the next corner is the next challenge, one we haven't encountered yet. Thank you. Perfect, Nicole. Here we go. We have ourselves a lift bridge. I haven't done one of these before. There don't seem to be any instructions, but
I've seen
I
this.
think it operates just the same as a lock. Cool.
What's it feel like? Smooth?
It's really smooth. You can see there's a pedestrian bridge behind the lift bridge where pedestrians can cross at any time. Only cars use the lift bridge, but it's still in our way. It's a little slower than I expected. It could take a while. Okay, you do some.
I guess that means you're driving, Rachel.
So the rules of these bridges is that they're meant to be kept down for cars and pedestrians, and only when a boat comes through do we operate it, put it up. Once we're through, we put it back down again. There's a massive counterweight at the end to counter the weight of the bridge, so it goes up pretty easily. Don't let it come down on the boat, Nicole. And Rachel either loves driving the boat now, or she's just getting smart enough and saying she does, so we do all the cranking.
Would you like a turn unwinding?
Sure. I was
Of
kind of
course.
expecting you could just let go and it would come down. You actually have
go
to
now.
turn it and use force.
How did it go?
Great. Thread the needle.
I like that we all switched every job that we had.
Good job, Rachel. Thank you. We were only planning to go this far today, but with Rachel being so happy at the tiller, I think we're just going to keep going. We're now coming up to the White House Tunnel. It's 174 meters long. Average time at 2 miles per hour should take about 4 minutes. If you go further left, I'll take a peek if there's anyone down there. Oh, just barely. There's another boat coming out. They're just getting into it, but they're just...
I'm gonna do this like with my friends. I would like to, for like, the experience, like competent friends, because I'm not. Don't count on me. Okay, I'll try my best to do other things. Probably like cooking, entertainment. Okay, I'll be the entertainment. I could sing or dance whilst you guys navigate this thing. Yeah, that's all. Wash our clothes, probably. Wash the plates. Um, tell you stories if you want to hear it, right? Anything but navigate this. And also to distract myself. But I want to try. It
And that's
seems
exactly
fun.
why you always double check before entering a
Oh,
tunnel.
look at the ladies.
We both stopped. Better that way than not stopping. Yeah. I love the tunnels. I love the aqueducts. I love the canals. I love the boats.
What about me?
I love the drawbridges. And I love the crew. I know we went through a tunnel last week, but I want to show you that if you go through a tunnel with your GoPro filming a time lapse, it kind of looks like you're traveling at warp speed. Come out of the Chirk Tunnel. We have a little basin for waiting here, but it's pretty much one-way traffic through the tunnel and onto the aqueduct. Hi, guys. Hello.
Your trip, it looks amazing.
Thank you. It's no wonder this is one of the busiest canals in the system. Now, there's so much to see, but the most interesting part about the Chirk Aqueduct is that it crosses into another country. Look at that, we've just gone from Wales to England. All right, that was the Chirk Aqueduct. And honestly, the English section of this canal feels very different from the Welsh side. The canal is now wider and straighter, and we've come across our first locks on this canal. You're doing it. It's never long before we're back into the action here on the canal. But of course, that being said, it's also not long until you're back out and cruising and relaxing on these calm waterways. This part of the canal passes less through forest and more through open agricultural areas, which, as a fan of cows and sheep, I love. And their fleece was as white as snow. I don't know if I've ever seen a black sheep before. But there is one final piece of architectural design that I find fascinating. while most boaters won't even notice it. We're gonna see if we can do this in one shot. So, the old days, horses pulled the barges. As I've explained, and in this situation, I will be the horse and I will attempt to pull this boat. We've already got a little bit of momentum. But what happens when you need to change the tow path from one side of the canal to the other side is they have this subtle but really unique piece of architecture. This bridge, normally you would continue down there, which then you would have to disconnect the rope and reattach it. But this spirals back to the same side it was on. Our rope is still attached. I guess you step over it. And there we go. And now the horse can continue pulling the boat through without having to unhook.
Smart.
Here we go. Pretty cool little piece of engineering. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming of me on the boat. So to end the day, we made dinner, I did dishes, and then... Jesus. How are things out here?
We're beached. Right in the middle, too.
Wow, you're not near the edge at all. Getting our beaching pole. We haven't had to use this one yet. All right, you ready to give it a little juice, give it a little gas?
Forward.
Oh, it's really soft. It's just going into the sand.
What does what is the term? What does it mean? Is it like you're stuck?
There we go. Yes, give it the juice. Yeah, I think Rachel's still enjoying this. Nothing a little power can't fix. Finally, Rachel's had her fill for the day. So now it's my turn for the final challenge and maybe the most important part of the day, finding the perfect parking spot. The ladies have decided to go for an evening walk along the canal, so it's a solo job for me. Could park here with all the boats. There's a cow's field up ahead. You know where I want to be. I feel like I'm looking for a parking spot outside of the stadium on game day. I've never seen it so full. Oh my gosh, look at this. Hi. Hi. You guys know of any parking spots? Ladies? Parking anywhere nearby? Got a spot? Friends? Very friendly people here. Great neighbors, great neighbors. Sometimes the toughest decision of the day is deciding where you're going to spend the night. I think we found a spot. We'll just park up here. We'll take the last spot. We'll take it right at the end. What a day! What a day! Canal life is constantly full of challenges and adventures, but it's all at your own pace. Rachel picked it up in no time flat, and it's days like we just had that make these trips so rewarding. That's not going anywhere. Whew! Long day. I think we got it. Close to town, with reception, next to a cow field. We'll see you in the morning. As night falls, this is where I start the teaser for next week's episode, as we take the deepest lock in the UK and cruise the Rochdale Canal during the lowest water levels of the season, which has created tension on board between Nicole and I as we try to get to the deepest and longest canal tunnel in the UK. So make sure to subscribe. Go ahead, I'll wait. I mean, you can always unsubscribe if
It's
you change your
actually
mind, so there's no
fascinating. It's actually very fascinating. There's so many like trials or like different. I thought, you know what? If I think of boat in a canal, I'm here thinking it's just a straight path from A to B, nothing to see. Ooh, that rhymes. I need my vitamin C. But anyways, yeah, that's what I think about. I'm not thinking about caves and tunnels and bridges and that and the third. But it seems really fun. Like it's something to do, it's an adventure. And I really want to try with a group of friends. I would love to try it. Not gonna be, I'll probably try navigating the boat if it's like wide and straight ahead. I'll try that. But don't count on it. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. This has been really fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.